The great canvas, which stretches above and around the entirety of the world, is aglow with countless stars tonight, like the eyes of countless heavenly hosts watching over the world. In Kuri, a humble village deep within the chestnut forests of Meho, the aging branches and their coat of leaves block most of the sky, but veils of starlight pierce the canopy to illuminate its humble dirt pathways. At the end of one of these dirt pathways, past the empty festival stalls and flittering torches, there is a building made of piecemeal wood and stacked stones. This unassuming building serves as Benbei Kanul's home, his office, and as the official outpost of the Emperor's Arm, complete with a few sturdy holding cells and a small armory with whatever meager supplies he could muster. As the town's hand of the Emperor, he spent most of his time here, and tonight was no exception. He had on his armor, and his sword leaned against his desk in case of emergency, but trouble rarely came to his door. This time, the trouble in question took the form of wolfmen. Some of the loners who lived in the forest had told tales of these ferocious predators, but they had recently shown up at the fringes of Kuri itself, and made off with some of the town's children. If reports were accurate, their count and strength would be more than he and his armsmen could handle. And so here he was, waiting on his and Kuri's only hope. Could everybody please roll me a 1d100? Reginald Bafflestone, you are the first to arrive at the office of the Hand of the Emperor, if you would care to describe yourself as you enter this office at the edge of town.
In walks this short fellow who has a bright red beard and mustache that curls up on the ends, and his hair is tucked up underneath this tall pointed hat. He's wearing pretty simple leather and has tools and pouches around his belt, as well as a little pack on his back, and is kind of nervously touching his fingers together as he walks in this building, looking around, seeing if he can spot Benbei.
Yes, he is sitting at a wooden desk in the center of the room. As the Hand of the Emperor of the town, you'd at least be familiar with him. He's from the southern regions of Meho, and so has a slightly darker and more tanned complexion, being from the more jungle-like regions to the south. But he is dressed in largely you would recognize to be ornamental armor, made for more show and a display of his position rather than efficiency. But he is pleased enough to see you. He unfolds his hands and will greet you as you enter. Reginald, I am pleased to see that you have made it. I was not sure that you would answer, but I am hoping that your knowledge of the spirits could come in handy should these prove to be wolf-blessed.
Knowledge is what I do best, so I hope so too. Plus, the wonderful reward you mentioned.
I only wish that I had more gold available to compensate you all with.
You all? What do you? Are other people coming?
Next on our roll of 1d100 is Levin Vosk. Levin, you are second to arrive if you would care to introduce your character.
Yeah, he's not as tall as you would think a normal elf. Hair down, light rose maybe color. Looks to not be natural. Floor-length robes. He's tightening leather gauntlets around his wrists as he walks. He has a scroll case absolutely stuffed full of paper on his back. Crossbow at his hip. Looks to be a little bit annoyed. Going to arrive and stand directly beside Reginald in a very annoying manner.
There are several of you. This is, no offense, Reginald, but this is a little more than I think you could handle on your own. I'm not
no
sure.
offense taken. This is for the best.
Of course. I'm not sure if you two are familiar with each other. Levin is the Gravekeeper. They've had the ability to heal and use some divine magic in the past, so I'm hoping that if any of you should fall victim to the claws, Levin will hopefully be able to patch you back up.
And I'll brush my hand on my pants. There's like a little bit of dirt and smut that comes off, and extend my hand out towards Levin and say, well, nice to formally meet you.
Forgive my ignorance, Levin, but that is within your wheelhouse, is it not?
It would be, correct. He's going to turn and shake Reginald's hand. He says, pleased.
Who else is coming?
Benjiro, you are third. I'm going to move Sovanna up to be arriving the same time as you because that feels appropriate.
Okay.
Yes.
If the two of you would like to describe your characters.
Benjiro will come in first. He is a tall man, around 6'3". He has grayish toned skin, like grayish brown hair with a darker, I guess, highlight or low light in the front. And his most striking features are the fact that he is kind of littered with eyeballs. He has many purple eyeballs littered on his face, his neck, and his arms. And he has a set of horns, but one is broken. And he is wielding a rapier at his side. And he is currently stepping to the side and ushering Sovanna in.
Sovanna is a pretty normal height that you would assume for a human girl, but she kind of hunches herself to make herself appear small. She has a darker complexion, golden hair, and golden eyes with no pupils. And she just kind of puts herself to the side, out of the way.
Benjiro, once Sovanna is in, will step up and bow to everyone in there. Hello, I am Benjiro Otsuka. This is my companion Sovanna. We were called here.
Sovanna gives a little wave.
Mm-hmm. The hand of the Emperor will also stand and will give you a small polite bow. Benjiro, it is good you answered. We will certainly have need of your arm. I was not aware that you had a companion with you this time, but the more of you that there are, the better your odds of success will be. Last but not least, if you would like to introduce yourself, Elco.
Walking in with a bit of a limp, the human is wearing practical armor made up of small plates that overlap, kind of like scales, although missing a couple. There's some holes in the armor. The cloth of what he's wearing matches the Emperor's arm and kind of the aesthetics of this building, but much more frayed and faded, like perhaps not as expensive or taken care of. He has a rapier at his side, but he is currently leaning on a glaive, helping out his slight limp. He probably will lean it aside as he enters to not take up too much room. He has dark skin, and his face looks like he hasn't slept in a long time, and he has a small scar on his forehead. Apologies, Hand. I had some personal matters to attend to, but it is all squared away.
You have no need to apologize to me when you have done so much for Kuri and continue to do so. We are only grateful that you are here. With that, he stands and will place a bag on the table before him with an audible clink from the many coins inside. As I've discussed, or was included in the letters I had delivered to each of you, there is a sum of 200 gold pieces available for split amongst all of you. I suppose that would be 5 ways now. But I'm sure you're aware or have heard of the tales of these attacks. They've made off with a few children from town now, and it has become too much of a problem for me to ignore. So this is all of the funding that the arm of the Emperor has been granted for the next several months. I only wish I had more to spare, but if you are able to destroy these wolfmen that have been harrying our people and return the lost children to us, then it is yours. I would gladly pay you 10 times the amount if I only had it.
You may keep the division to 4. I will not take coin for such a task.
Very well, but the division is yours to make, so payment will be issued upon your return, hopefully shortly. I do not know much of this issue, only what I have heard and pieced together from those we have discussed this matter with, but I will do my best to answer any questions to the best of my ability. If any of you have any questions for him, now would be the time.
Yes. When was the last attack?
It was a mere 5 days ago. It only took me this long to get it all assembled because I had to wait for as fast as my men could walk.
Have you noticed a pattern to them?
They have been encroaching further from the east, making their way out of the deep forests. The forests that turn to cedars, it seems to be where they make their nest. These reports have been coming more frequent and less distant over time, until now we find ourselves as we are now. I would expect another attack within another 5 days at this rate.
How many have gone missing thus far?
We have 5 that we can count. 2 from town and 3 missing persons reports from the fringe inhabitants. There may be more. There may be less, he says with a small frown.
Levin's gonna tilt his head and ask, "What exactly do you mean by that?"
he gets a little flustered. The wolfmen, we do not know if they are mere wolf-lawn bandits or if they are in fact, wolf blessed. If they are wolf blessed, they are not known to be above cannibalization.
What makes you call them wolfmen then, if you aren't sure if they're touched by the spirits?
I forgot that you are not from Mayho. There are two native populaces of those who, for the sake of simplicity, we may refer to as wolfmen. There are the Wolflan, who, like the other Lan of Mayho, are humanoids descended from wolves of the land. Although we're not sure of their origins, they are fairly mundane like us. But then there are also the Wolf Blessed. They have received the blessing of a wolf spirit, and it has changed their form and their temperament. They would be much more dangerous. You can roll an Arcana check or a history check, actually, if you'd like, Reginald, to see if you know more about that. Anyone can who wants to.
Yes, that would be awesome.
It'd be history, Arcana. I should not have said that. That is entirely
History?
incorrect. History.
And this wouldn't be related to a magical, alchemical, or technological item, right?
No items.
Yeah, okay, just checking. 24.
24, ooh. Yes, as part of your study of spirits, you might have heard the legend of Snatcher the Wolf Spirit, a well-renowned menace on Mayho. He is known to bless his most devoted followers with wolf-like forms and resilient hides, and they are notoriously resistant to standard weaponry.
Ooh, Snatcher, no snatching.
That's right.
Sorry.
They're snatching kids.
They are. They are indeed. Oh, I believe this lines up with something I was just reading the other day, and I'll flip through this notepad that I've been writing notes on, and I'll look at it and say, yes, Snatcher. And I'll point at the page.
He smiles weakly, the hand of the Emperor. I'm glad that my decision to include you was justified. I'm sure you know more about them than I do, that being the case.
This may be difficult. I don't think the normal weapons fare very well against them.
Benjiro, in relation to this letter, you actually had one of your contacts from the Far Wardens. Upon hearing about this, he set you up with someone in town and has the smith ready to silver up to 6 pieces of weaponry for you.
Before we go out, we should go to the smithy. I have the smith here ready to silver our weaponry.
Wow.
At least 6 pieces.
I am happy to hear that you are well prepared. If there is naught else for you to do in the office of the Hand of the Emperor, then you can go ahead and head to the smithy to get some weapons silvered.
While we're on the way, I guess meandering over, Levin's gonna fall in line behind or beside Elco and ask him, "You're injured?" Very bluntly.
Oh, no. Old injuries didn't heal properly, but I manage.
He's gonna hum thoughtfully, like he's stored that away in his mind.
Thank you for coming with us. What is your area of expertise?
Spirits, magic. How are the kids?
Doing well, held up at home. They're upset to not be able to go out into the forest for gathering, but perhaps we can make it safe for them to do so again.
He's gonna nod, gotta turn his lips up and walk away.
I will silver my rapier.
I will give my glaive to the smith.
Alright, you now have a silvered glaive.
Sovanna, do you have any weapons on you?
I got a whole load of nothing.
I will take the extra dagger that I have and have it silvered and give you a silver dagger. You know how to use this, correct?
Point and stab?
Point and stab, exactly.
Okay. She just nervously puts it away.
I guess I'll do my crossbow bolts.
You've got 2 more things you can silver if you'd like. I know that that's more than you probably need.
His crossbow bolts as well.
Okay, so we'll do a total of 40 crossbow bolts then.
I mean, heck, I could do my dagger, I guess.
Going once. Going twice. Sold. The
Um,
dagger number
okay.
2.
Reginald's dagger.
All right. The
Thank
second dagger is dipped into the silver, which quickly cools in the crisp night air. As it is around the turn of the seasons, fall is encroaching towards winter as the harvest was about to be celebrated with the festival before the news of the attack quickly shut down the town. But your weapons are now silvered, and you are feeling perhaps a little more confident about your wolfman slaying capacity. Unless you have
Right.
any further business left in town, the next thing to do would be to see if you can find the trail to the east.
Sounds good. On the way there, Benjiro will be like, okay, everyone be careful of their bite. If this is a moon blessed, I'm not sure how they work quite yet, but it'd be bad if any of you got bit.
I don't disagree with you. I tend to err on the side of not getting bit, but why specifically wolf blessed? Do they pass their blessing along?
Yeah, would I happen to know anything about that? I have no idea.
You had certainly
Not sure.
heard rumors that they are able to share their blessings with one another, and that their bites and claws are certainly to be feared. But it is hard to learn and extract information on these creatures given how hostile they are, and they are not keen to be taken prisoner.
I haven't ever seen it with my own eyes, but, time will tell, rumor here, rumor there.
I was mostly saying that because, diseases. They're gross.
Ooh,
Personally,
yeah,
wouldn't want to be
diseases
bit by
too.
anything.
It could also magically transfer the curse to you, and then you could become like one of them.
And that.
Maybe. I don't. Like I said, not proven. Not proven.
That doesn't seem sanitary anyway.
Well, should we set off into the woods, the
Yes.
dark woods? Oh boy.
I have light. Do you want me to?
Oh, it's okay. I'll just stand in the middle of you all and have some people to the back and some people to the front.
I mean,
Okay.
sometimes I glow in the dark.
Yes.
Oh,
It's been a disadvantage to him sometimes. He wants to be hidden, and then I accidentally kind of shine a little.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I-
You get nervous.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Reginald, if you will stay close to me, I can make sure that nothing comes too close.
I believe,
Lovely.
if my memory serves, Elco is the only one without dark vision. Yes?
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
human fighter.
Is quite dark. You would probably definitely feel safer with the torch, but with your friends to guide you and the little bits of moonlight coming through, it would at least be navigatable for the moment.
I will forego a torch.
Okay.
I can also, once we get close, I can start trying to detect where the creatures are. If you think that would be helpful, anyways.
Of course.
and how will we know when we're close?
Do you think we'd be able to smell them?
I'm afraid
I
that
would-
my nose may not be so sharp.
I would assume the howling.
Oh, that's a good point.
Is the moon out? I guess it is. As we move forward, then, once I start seeing like tracks or
Mhm.
something, like if I use possibly survival, I would like to activate my divine sense.
Of course. Would you like to use survival to look for tracks?
Yeah, I'm not the best at it, but I can do it.
Give it a go.
Let's give it a go.
Wow, natural
Cool.
shame.
You're not the best at it?
It was a fairly low DC, given that you know the location and that the tracks themselves are fairly obvious. That is certainly good enough. Yes, you can go to the building on the edge of town where you know the last attack has taken place, and yes, there are a plethora of tracks to follow. What look to be like the average prints of a canine, but slightly larger and pressed into the dirt here with a much greater weight than an average wolf would carry. These are certainly the tracks you're looking for, and they lead deeper into the chestnut forest.
Okay. I will point these out to everyone. and tell everyone to try to be at least decently stealthy. And once the tracks become more like condensed, like a lot, I want to start activating my divine sense.
Of course, yes. Unless anyone has any opposition, you'll all begin to follow the werewolf tracks deeper into the forest.
Also, I want everyone to just look at the divine sense thing. It's really funny.
Mhm.
Needs to be a proper noun in there.
It does specifically mention, yes, Strahd von Zarevich.
Which is really funny to me. I don't know why it does that.
Because they
But not
needed
his
a
identity.
proper
Chris
noun, and
Pratt,
he's
for
a well-known
instance.
one. It also could not detect Chris Pratt. If Chris Pratt happens to be a
Actually-
celestial fiend or undead. Not saying he
I'm
is.
actually gonna change the name to Chris Pratt.
Sure.
I'd say he's a fiend.
Chris
The fiend
Pratt.
Chris Pratt, for instance.
Guess it depends on how you
Yeah.
judge his performance.
Mm.
Anyways, you begin your trek into the
There we
chestnut forest. The
Perfect.
canopy overhead grows as you walk, somewhat tighter knit, and the coverage grows that much thicker, and the branches start to feel less welcoming and more like creeping fingers closing over you and pulling you deeper into the woods. But you proceed forward nevertheless. The werewolf tracks, the wereman tracks, whatever they might be, they continue onwards. I'm not supposed to use the names of things. They continue deeper into the chestnut forest. It is a lengthy trek. As you were told by the hand, it is 30 miles to where the chestnut forest turns to the cedar trees, where they believe these attacks to be originating from.
Oh boy.
At one point, you will need to stop and take a rest mid-journey. But perhaps that can come later, as you would hate for the trail to get lost to time should weather prove to not be your ally. For hours, you walk forward into the woods here, through the meandering trails, passing by some of the small hamlets, all of which now have been abandoned as people have seeked out a safer place to rest their heads, but not you. Deeper you go, and eventually, once the sun has risen, it is soon blotted out once again as the canopy's dominance over the sky becomes absolute, letting only the smallest fragments of light into this place. The air is ancient, and you can feel the oppression of the life that the land here has lived. But eventually, the trees do turn to the cedar trees. The twisting and reaching roots begin to become less spread and more straight up. But the unfurling canopies above still deny all but the most determined rays of sunlight from making their way within. As a mist begins to settle in around you, you feel the urge of sleep and rest calling you forward as you have been traversing for well over 8 hours straight by this point. The fire wards the darkness and repels the cold, a safeguard against the woods which loom around you like silent spectators, keeping a close eye on you as you sleep, unwelcome guests in their territory. Your watches are uneventful as far as dangers and other creatures go, but over the course of the night, those mists which only just appeared the edges of the vision creep ever closer through each watch and every hour. By the time Elco's watch comes, the end of it, they dance at the edge of the firelight. In Sovanna, they have begun to creep into where the light reaches by the end of your own. When the morning comes and you're all fully rested, they limit vision to maybe 60 feet at most in any direction, given that the trees themselves are not blocking the line of sight with their massive trunks and their needle-covered arms. And it is about this point that as you regain your bearings and look to continue onwards, you notice that the werewolf tracks that you've been following are gone. There is no sign of any of them, despite the fact that you made your campfire and your site directly on top of where the path led.
I also noticed that the tracks are gone.
Benjiro, can you find more? Look around.
I will try. Can I try to look for more?
Sure, make a survival check. You take a healthy look around the camp. You make one loop around the camp and you don't find anything. You take a second loop to be sure and still you find nothing. You take a third and final loop of the campsite and there are still nothing. It's as if they were never even here. It's disarming.
I know there was tracks here.
Levin is gonna kick at the dirt and he said, what if we've been tricked? What if they were never here? How do we know?
What if they can fly?
What flying werewolves?
They would have to have come back and gotten rid of the tracks then, so while wings are not outside the realm of possibility, it may not be the answer in this case.
Illusion magic?
Possible.
Potentially.
Perhaps we should try continuing on.
We don't
Perhaps
know
we
where
should
to
try
go.
going back.
Which way is back?
Well, I'll look around. That way. I'll just pick a direction and point at it.
Do we see our own tracks?
You can make a survival check if you'd like.
Ooh. 13.
13. You take a quick look to see if you can find your own footprints, but looking through the short, resilient grasses and the moss which clings to the stony and dirt-covered ground here, no, you cannot find your own tracks.
Reginald, what makes you think this is the right way?
It's just a gut feeling, Elco. Although, give me a moment. Can I examine these trees creeped in around us over the night? Are they different than the ones that we went asleep next to the night before? The ones that I'd be familiar with in the area?
Make a
Of
nature
Maho?
check.
Nature. 15.
15. Examining the trees, they look similar, certainly. You didn't take much time to study the trees beforehand. Hard to say. They still have those needles on them, right? They look like they could be from the area, but there's a lingering uncertainty in your mind. Maybe they are different trees.
Elco, I don't feel good about this whole situation.
Well, as long as we stick together, we'll at least know where we are in relation to each other.
I'm not even sure if these are the same trees.
Wait, you mean the same trees as in the same type of tree? Or
They could be the same. I didn't pay much attention to the fauna when we laid down at night, but I don't know. Something is amiss.
An unease washes over the group, much like the fog has washed over the landscape around you. If nothing else, one thing is clear. You are lost. Any warmth that this land might have once had for you is long gone in the chill of the morning.
Perhaps we should look for a town. Maybe get our bearings straight. Figure out where we are again.
Yes, let's try to do that. Stick together. Don't get lost in the fog.
Does the mist have any discernible qualities?
The mist is gray. It swallows any light that comes through. It is an overcast day today, but even what little light might beat its way through the clouds, insignificant as it is, the mist quickly disperses it into nothing but an opaque sheet which has all but surrounded you. Is it natural? It is very thick. It is not outside of what could be natural, but it is quite heavy, particularly for this time of year.
Levin is gonna. I'm assuming Reginald is walking on the beside Elco.
probably.
All right,
That
he's
makes
gonna go to
sense.
Reginald's other side and be like, "No one wandered too off to. It looks weird."
Oh,
Mhm.
no intention of leaving the group.
You picking a direction and heading off?
Guess so.
And we can't even see the sun or anything because the canopy's so thick, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, I guess we just have to pick one.
The mist seems to welcome you forward as you begin moving somewhere, anywhere. You have to find something. Like a curtain it parts, and you are able to move forth as you please. Over time, the mist seems to recede somewhat, granting you slightly more awareness of your surroundings. Or eventually, whoever's in the front of you you can see that there is a lone dirt path which weaves its way between some of the trees here.
Any tracks?
Easy enough to see on the path here. There are numerous tracks here there's light foot travel, it seems, as well as much more commonly it seems that there are the prints of horses. Hooves have clearly battered this road down, as well as carriages, judging by the large ruts that their wheels have left behind.
Ah, a caravan. Perhaps we can catch up with them.
In any case, at least this road leads somewhere because there's people following it. Let's join them.
You follow the road forwards. You see on either side of the road as you begin to move forward and out of the tree line somewhat, as this road has a bit of a clearing carved around it of these oppressive trees. There are black pools of water which stand like dark mirrors in and around the muddy roadway here. The trees loom on either side of the road, their branches clawing at the receding line of mist around. It is a lengthy road that you will have to travel. Unless you have any interruptions or stops, you will walk this road for 1 hour, and then 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. The chill of the land has begun to settle in by this point. Those of you who have warmer clothing and blankets are probably using them to ward away the chill which has taken to the air around here. In the 5th hour, the fog spills out of the forest to swallow up the road behind you. But ahead of you, jutting from the impenetrable woods on both sides of the road, you can see that there are high stone buttresses looming gray in the fog. Huge iron gates hang on the stonework. Dew clings with tenacity, cold tenacity, to the rusted bars, and 2 headless statues of armed guardians flank the gate, their heads now lying among the weeds at their feet. The only greeting you receive is the silence.
I'm not convinced that we're in Maho anymore.
What do you mean?
I mean, did you know that this was through the woods?
No, I've traveled these roads frequently.
And
very
have you ever
frequently,
seen
in
this?
fact. I can't say that I have, but I don't know which way we went.
Does this stonework look like anything we would have seen in Maho?
The stonework of Maho, it is a relatively newer nation as a whole. It's only been known to exist for 1,000 years compared to the storied homelands of the Dwarven and Elvish people. Obviously much not nearly as new as the Powderlands to the south, perhaps. But this sort of stonework here, the weeds which grow on the age it shows, not traditional at all. The structures of Maho are well kept unless they are destroyed in their entirety, whereas this structure seems to have been left to decay out of a negligence which is very unfamiliar to the people of Maho. The dark stonework and the coldness of it is also not a style which is commonly found in Maho either. It much more resembles something that you might see in Canis, perhaps. It's not to say that it could not be in Maho, but it would be quite strange. Those of you who are from Canis would perhaps come to that conclusion more readily than the rest.
I'll say you're right, Reginald. It seems like we crossed the ocean, but that's impossible.
The ocean.
Maybe not the ocean, maybe dimensions.
Hey, I mean, it's not impossible, although there were no magic portals or runes or feelings of strangeness in the air, and I guess except for that fog and the trees and the woods and the tracks that disappeared.
Yes, you're saying everything. Everything was weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff that happened, okay?
There was a lot.
I don't like this, but it seems like forward is the only way to go.
Well, I suppose we should decide. Could this be where the wolfmen went, or are we in a very wrong place?
Maybe there were no wolfmen at all.
Then what took the children?
Something worse, maybe?
Let's hope whatever it was bleeds from silver.
Can I take a look at the gates?
Yes, as I said, the iron gates on the rusted hinges, stuck to with dew, are blocking the way forward, hanging from these stone buttresses, which loom amidst the trees on either side of the road. Would you like to approach the gate?
Yes.
As you get
I would like to
closer
activate my
to the
divine
gate.
sense as I do so.
Go ahead. You will detect nothing.
Cool.
But as you approach the gate, as if carried by an unseen breeze, they slowly swing away from you outwards, screeching on their hinges in protest as they move, but opening the way forward for you nevertheless.
Not
Gates
foreboding.
usually, yes, gates don't usually open on their own.
Of course, automatic doors, welcoming us to something.
You always do this, Benjiro. You always bring me to creepy places.
I'm sorry. It's
Are
part of the
you?
job.
And what job
You
is
don't
that?
sound sorry.
What?
What job is that?
Oh, you know.
I work
Anyway, let's
with-
go into the creepy place.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Hmm.
I think we need to establish, Benjiro, are you bad luck?
Why would I be bad luck?
Well,
If anybody's bad luck, it
Sovanna's-
would be me. I'm
Ah,
Benjiro's
great.
bad luck, and Benjiro is my bad luck.
Is it because we are Nephilim?
No, it's just some people have good luck and some people have bad luck, and I prefer to spend time with people who bring good luck.
I don't particularly have good luck, nor do I have bad luck.
Neutral it is.
Things just
Uh,
tend to happen. And this is
well,
probably the
that's-
weirdest thing that has ever happened.
Ah,
I will just say that this is a new one for him. At least since I've been around.
Yes, normally I go around and I help people with small things here and there. Spirits, whatnot. This is completely new. I usually don't
This
get
isn't small.
transported.
well, this doesn't make me feel better about the situation at all.
Perhaps we never woke up.
That doesn't help either.
A
Sorry.
shared dream.
I can
It's not
pinch you
a-
if you'd like.
No, I'm okay.
Like it's a curse.
If this is a shared
Oh,
dream,
great.
which of us is dreaming? This isn't anything like what I've.
Honestly,
Benjiro,
this,
you took first watch. Did you see anything?
I didn't. I just the fog was slowly getting thicker, but I assumed it was just the weather.
suppose this isn't very different from my other dreams.
Don't trust fog, is what Reginald writes down in his notebook and underlines it. Flips it closed. Okay, well, who would like to go through the gates first? Seems they're already welcoming us inside. Fantastic.
Well, you seem
Levin is
excited.
going
You could go first.
It was sarcasm, although another day and another discovery. Elco, I'll follow right behind you.
Right.
Levin is going to sigh deeply as everyone is discussing over who is going to go first, and he's going to go first.
Righto, Levin. I see that you have quite the head on your shoulders, and I'll follow behind.
Yeah, I'll stick
never
very
in
close
front.
to.
I will also stick close. Don't split the group, please.
You all can continue on the road deeper into this terrain, whatever it might be. And as you all pass the gate and are walking on, you can hear the telltale screech of it moving once again. It closes behind you.
Oh, not creepy at all. Not creepy at all.
Can I inspect the soil?
Sure. It is cold. It is earthy. It
Sure.
is well littered with small stones. It's an actual quality of soil.
True.
It
yeah.
is also very cold. You suspect it is likely largely frozen, perhaps somewhat prematurely.
The weather doesn't seem normal either. We're not due for freeze for a while.
More peculiar.
Anything else of note in the area besides the gate?
There is the forest which stretches out on all sides of you, except for one where the dirt road continues.
Okay, well, obviously people are traveling this road, so it can't be that dangerous. Unless the people traveling are dangerous.
Oh, that too.
I will continue forward.
I'll follow behind whoever wants to take the first steps.
You press onwards more as you begin to walk the road over the course of perhaps a mile of travel. The forest will recede from the road, leaving you in these very flat and rolling hills, which you can only see the edges of beyond the road thanks to this fog, which continues to hover oppressively around the edges of your little traveling party. Paying attention to it, it seems perhaps not as thick as it was when you were in the woods and by the gate. But perhaps that was just a trick of the light, what scant little there is here. After following the
Silent
road
Hill.
for perhaps another hour, let's see, who's got the highest passive perception? Levin, you're the one with wisdom.
Yes.
As you're traveling, your half-elven ears twitch as you detect a faint but growing louder set of what sound like not human footsteps, but disparate footsteps, like an animal maybe. They have the cadence of a beast in a full sprint, coming towards your position through the
He's
fog.
gonna draw his shield off his back and hold his hand out in front of Reginald.
Right. You stop the party as out of the mists comes a moderately sized, what looks to be a mastiff, with brown fur, light tan to brown fur, darker spots around its face and its eyes. You see it's got a collar on, which looks to be a little worn from time. It's what might have once been a bright red has been dulled to a tarnished crimson. It stops before all of you and lets out a hoo, and it wags its tail and it does a little circles around itself.
A puppy.
Finally, a friendly welcome. Look at this good boy.
The Mastiff is
very, very
probably
friendly.
as tall as Reginald is.
Yeah, probably.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I'm 3'3".
It might be a little taller than you even then.
It's a little big for a dog.
It's about the correct size for a Mastiff, actually. They're quite large.
Can I pet it?
Would you like to pet the dog?
Yeah, he looks so
Yeah.
nice. It's the first nice thing we've seen.
Reginald,
Careful,
Yeah.
Reginald. That thing that I'm pretty sure it could swallow you whole.
No, its tail is wagging. That's a sure tell sign that it's friends.
Or it could have rabies.
Yeah,
Remember what we said about getting bit?
this is not one of the wolfmen.
How do you know?
Do you know what it looks like?
What a dog looks like?
No, what the wolfmen look like.
Wolfmen is in the name. This is a dog.
You know what? Go ahead. Go pet the dog. Go ahead, little guy.
Would you like to pet the dog?
The dog.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
I'd
can
pet
pet the
this
dog. You can give it some scratches under its collar, and it'll tilt its head and let its long tongue roll out of its mouth like a fruit by the foot. Blah.
It's gonna eat him.
It
See?
it starts to that thing dogs do where they pick up their leg and they sort of pound it on the ground a little bit.
Yeah.
Its
I
ears
know
flop
exactly what
around a
you're
little
talking
bit. You can see while you're petting it that it looks like it has a name tag on its collar, which is tarnished and looks like it's been grown over with like mold and stuff. But you can scrape away some of that tarnish if you'd like and see that it says Daniel on it. It's spelled like that.
Can you? Oh, okay. I was just saying it sounded like you said Daniel, but a little off.
That's because I did.
Daniel, I'll say, looking at the collar. Is that your name?
He looks you right in the eyes and goes, "Poof."
Ah, Daniel, where are we? Do you speak common?
that's a dog.
That is a dog.
You all thought it might have been a wolf man. Don't judge me.
Don't think I
he
did.
suddenly breaks away from you and walks towards the sort of further ahead of you down the road, nearing the edge of the mist from your perspective, and then he stops and turns and looks back to you and goes, "Woof."
I believe he wants us to follow him.
Sure, why not? Let's follow the random dog that we found in the. Just start
If I get
walking
eaten by a dog, I'm gonna be so mad.
He's the first nice thing that we found here. I mean,
He looks like he needs a bath.
Yes, he does.
We all do.
You can follow this dog if you'd like. For about another mile, he's going to lead you forward. You're all starting to get a little tired from all of this trekking you've done through the day. You've been walking for maybe 6 hours in total by this point through the day, and it's hard to tell if it's even night or day with how thick this fog is, but it does seem like maybe the sky is beginning to turn a little dim. Hard to say. But eventually, the dirt road turns to gravel, and the gravel leads to a village. Its tall houses dark as tombstones. Nestled among these solemn dwellings, you can see a handful of closed-up shops. Even the tavern is shut tight. As you're looking around, your eyes are drawn towards a soft whimpering that you hear. Looking down the streets, you see that there are a pair of children standing in the middle of one of these otherwise lifeless streets here.
Oh, some children. Do you think those are some of the ones that got taken?
Must be. I'll throw down my
What?
glaive and move over towards them.
Elco, what are they wearing though? Is that Maho garb?
I don't know. Is it?
No, decidedly not. Before I show you this image, I want to show you the image because it's nice art. But I need to warn you that this book has an art style, and everybody in this book is super creepy. So please bear that in mind when I show you this artwork.
Oh my gosh, yeah, okay, I see what you mean.
That is definitely not Maho Garth.
Every single person in this book looks super duper evil and creepy. So please do not take the art as a don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Elco,
yes.
I don't know if they're the children from Maho.
No.
They are children.
Hello. Are you lost?
Oh, he's talking to them.
The girl takes a moment to comfort the boy. There, Thorn. And then after shushing the boy, she turns to you and she says, "There's a monster in our house." She turns around and points at one of the tall brick row houses, which looks like it's seen better days. You can see that its windows are dark. There's a gated portico on the ground floor, the rusty gate of which is slightly ajar. And you can see that on either side of it, the houses are abandoned, their windows and doors boarded up.
Where are you from? Do you live there?
Yes, that's our house. We live there with mother and father.
Have you seen any other children?
No, not for a while. I think everyone's out inside with the fog rolling in.
Okay. Are your parents okay?
I don't know. I know that it's trapped. They trapped it in the basement, but they've gotten out all right.
What kind of monster is it?
We haven't seen it ourselves, but it makes this awful din roaring from the basement. Its howls are like gravel.
Well, we should get rid of the monster.
Which house was it?
Suppose.
Ask them to point.
Yeah, she'll point at the same house again. There's a series of row houses. There's one where the house on either side of it are abandoned, and that is the one to which she points.
Can he go knock on the door?
Do you want to go knock on the door?
Does anybody else want to do anything else?
That works. This isn't really our mission, but if we have the opportunity to help, we should. And I think we're more equipped than anyone else in this village, so I'll pick up my glaive and follow you.
He's gonna knock on the door.
We'll stay out here. We don't want to get eaten by the monster. Yeah, so you can approach the house if you'd like. Here's Daniel the dog. He's here too.
What a face.
Like I said, all the art is super creepy in this module, so...
One hell of a snout.
Yeah, let me actually here's the... Oh, well, the handout is for a normal Mastiff. I don't know why that's the case. The tokens have the book art for a Mastiff. That's weird.
Danielle's great. He's my favorite character so far.
Can you just change the art to Iggy from JoJo?
No thanks.
Yeah.
Oh.
Aw.
Yeah.
So you can see that the stone portico is here. By the way, if you didn't know, a portico is a structure consisting of a roof supported by columns at regular intervals, typically attached as a porch to a building. It's like a little overhang, basically.
I love these little window things. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. You can see inside a little bit, yes.
That's a rat.
There's a big old rat in the corner.
No, it's not.
Right in there.
Oh, look, those are... Would you like to look in the windows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see that there is an oak-paneled room on the other side of that window. And by the way, this is a row house, so I know the map has like left and right sides of the building. Those don't actually exist. You can see this is an oak-paneled room, which looks to be a hunter's den. There is a fireplace on the... That is the... It's not arranged normal cardinal directions. On the south wall, there is a fireplace. So for instance, that means that this side is the north and this side is the south. So on the south wall, there is a fireplace. And mounted above the fireplace, there's a stag's head. In position on the outskirts of the room, there are 3 stuffed wolves. Not rats, despite what they look like. Although I can't blame you for thinking that they were rats. The portico... You see that there's a wrought iron gate with hinges on one side and a lock on the other, which fills the archway of this stone portico. There are also oil lamps hanging from the portico ceiling by chains, which are currently unlit, flanking a set of oaken doors which lay behind the gate as well.
Can I turn back to the children?
Yes, they're keeping their distance from the house a little bit.
Do you have directions towards the basement?
Well, it's on the bottom floor. It's below the first floor. Just take the stairs down.
Is this unlocked?
Would
just
you
clicked
like
on it,
to
sorry.
try the gate?
Yeah.
It is not locked. Yes, you can swing open the gate, its rusty hinges shrieking out loud as you do so. Yeah, so the portico is now open. You can proceed to the oaken doors behind it if you'd like.
Okay, I will go in. The doors are open.
The doors open into a grand foyer. You see that hanging on the south wall of the foyer, there is a shield emblazoned with a coat of arms, flanked by framed portraits of stony-faced aristocrats. Mahogany-framed double doors lead onwards from this foyer to deeper within the house, and they are set with panes of stained glass.
So just so we're completely clear, we entered a place covered in fog from a gate that opened by itself, and
Correct.
then we were led by a beast into a village, and now two strange children are telling us to enter their home into the basement to kill a beast.
Yeah.
No questions
Right.
asked.
Except the beast that we met was very friendly.
Is this place dusty? Like, is the foyer dusty? Like, does it look
Why is
lived
the
in?
beast-
No,
Scary.
it looks lived in. Yes, the floors are swept. Everything is dust and cobweb free. It definitely looks as if people have been and are living here.
Should we ask the children more questions before we go in?
Yes. First of all, they should know where we are, right?
Yes.
Children,
They're across the street from the house, but they're still there.
I'll go walk over to them. What is this place?
What do you mean? That's our house.
No, this town. This.
You mean Barovia?
Say that again.
Barovia?
Right. One moment, and I'll run back over. We're in Barovia, they said,
Where is that?
and I'll run back over. Where is Barovia?
Well, what do you mean? It's here. It's the village.
Like, if I were to look at a map, and on that map there were several continents, large masses of land. Where might Barovia be in terms of Canis and Maho?
I don't know anything about those places, but Barovia is named after Barovia the place, like the valley of Barovia.
Oh dear.
You do not
And-
know what Maho is?
That's somewhere outside of Barovia.
Yes, that is where we are from.
Well, I can't
Levin is
say
gonna
I've ever left.
Levin is gonna step up to the children, and he was like, he's gonna bend down, like, talking to them. He's like, you stated that people were afraid of the mists. Why?
The mists, well, you get lost in them, and when people get lost in the mist, they don't come back.
In what way do they not come back?
Well, if they came back, we'd see them again.
Do they just get lost?
Well, we don't know.
This reeks of magic.
How long have you lived here in Barovia?
Well, I'm only 10 years old my whole life.
Do you know when you were born?
10 years ago?
Oh, it must have been some sort of teleportation spell or something in the spirits that has not been discovered yet. Perhaps the whole fog is a spirit and we just didn't know it.
I can still pinch you if you want to still try that dream hypothesis.
What if you pinched someone else?
Benji, come here.
Okay. You can pinch me if need be.
She pinches him.
Ow, that hurt.
Pop your eye like a pimple.
No!
God.
Oh God! Do not touch those.
Well, it seems that it's not Benjiro's dream. Who's going to volunteer next?
Sovanna pinches herself.
That didn't seem to do anything either.
What are they doing? Rose shushes him. I don't know, but they're going to help us. It's okay.
We are sorry, children. We are having a bit of an odd day. Is there anything else you can tell us about your house before we venture forth?
Oh, Walter's on the 3rd floor nursery. You might check on him too. He should be okay up there, but
The 3rd floor nursery? Is this your
it's
younger
our-
brother?
It's our baby
or-
brother.
And he's in there with the monster.
The monster's in the basement.
And your parents?
I don't know.
Hopefully they are with Walter. Okay.
Let's waste less time and move on.
Yes.
We need to help them.
We need to help
Does-
the baby.
She's gonna turn to the dog, but keep her distance. Does this beast belong to you?
I think he's just a stray.
Hound.
Ooh.
Perhaps you could watch the children.
He sort of goes over to the children and sniffs at them. The little boy will stick his hand out and giggle. But the dog will walk back over to Reginald shortly thereafter.
Ah, yes. My newest friend. Well, you know what they say, when you can't go back, you must go forward. In we go.
Into the dangerous house.
All right. Benji, why don't you go first? I'll follow.
Will do. Usually I just let Sovanna call me Benji, but it's fine.
I don't know you like that.
I don't know you like
I don't know
that.
you
It's
like
fine.
that.
You just started talking about popping his eyeballs like pimples.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, as the tallest one here, I will venture forth.
Ooh, I'll take a middle spot.
The dog.
Okay, the dog is following. Lovely. Okay. Into the house.
Mhm. You can step out of the portico and into the grand foyer. As I previously described, the foyer has the pictures of aristocrats on the wall, as well as the shield with the coat of arms. There are the mahogany framed doors with the stained glass in them at the east end of the room.
So this
Well.
is like a well put together building. You're saying like they're
No, it's nice, yeah.
doesn't look run down or anything. It's
Yeah, I'm looking around. The floorboards and the
okay.
wall panels that are wood have been well oiled. The wallpaper hasn't faded any. The portraits and the shield look well taken care of.
all right.
Too
Open the
cool.
door.
You see that a wide hall opens here, running the width of the house, with a black marble fireplace at one end and a sweeping red marble staircase at the other. Mounted on the wall above the fireplace, you can see that there is a longsword with a windmill cameo worked into the hilt. The wood-paneled walls are ornately sculpted with images of vines, flowers, nymphs, and satyrs. There are several doors out of this room, including the large staircase.
Let's go to the nursery on the 3rd floor and make sure the baby's okay.
Perhaps the parents are with the child.
Yeah, so here's the staircase. The staircase here only goes up.
All right, we go.
Okay,
Oh wait, the stairs only go up?
up you go.
Well, okay.
You go up to the upper hall. You
Swap
see
me,
unlit
swap me.
oil lamps are mounted on the walls of this elegant hall. Hanging above the mantelpiece is a wood-framed portrait of what seems to be a family. You recognize that there are 2 adults who must be the parents, as well as their 2 smiling children, the 2 that you saw outside. Cradled in the father's arms, you can see that there is a swaddled baby, which the mother regards with a hint of scorn in this portrait, it seems. Standing suits of armor flank wooden doors in the east and west halls. Each suit of armor clutches a spear and has a visored helm shaped like a wolf's head. The doors themselves are carved with dancing youths. The red marble staircase that started on the 1st floor continues its upward spiral to even higher floors. You can feel a cold draft blowing in from the upper floors.
It's the 3rd floor for the baby.
That is where you're told the nursery was, yes.
Let's
Yeah,
go
so
to
we
the
go up.
nursery. Upwards.
The statues are wolves.
You
just gonna get
climb the
involved in
marble
everywhere.
staircase to its full height, reaching what seems to be a dusty balcony with a suit of black plate armor standing against one wall, draped in cobwebs. Oil lamps are mounted on the oak-paneled walls, which are carved with woodland scenes of trees, falling leaves, and tiny critters.
It is dusty up here. Why would they keep a child up
This 3rd floor, unlike the lower 2 floors, is showing some disrepair. It is very dusty, and cobwebs cling to the corners of the walls here.
They clearly
It
have
is
money for
drafty
upkeep.
here. The furniture is old, and the floorboards groan as you step forward.
Does anybody have any clue where the baby's at?
They said the third floor nursery.
All right, he's gonna open this door. Oh, there's a thing on the ground.
There is. That is here. Okay. The double doors to this room, which have dusty panes of stained glass set into them, resembling windmills in some of the designs. You open it up to see a dusty, cobweb-filled master bedroom with dilapidated burgundy drapes covering the windows. There is a 4-poster bed with embroidered curtains and tattered gossamer veils, a matching pair of empty wardrobes, a vanity with a wood-framed mirror, and a jewelry box, not to mention a padded chair and a rotting tiger skin rug lying on the floor in front of the fireplace, which has a dust-covered portrait of the two parents from the previous portrait hanging above it.
The rug is rotting?
Yes.
Tacky and unsanitary.
I'm gonna try this door.
You're gonna try that door, yes. Okay. That opens to flip. A dark room containing a wooden tub with clawed feet, a small iron stove with a kettle resting atop it, and a barrel under a spigot in the east wall. This looks to be a restroom.
Right. I think yeah.
Okay, I'll go down to this door. I will try
Open that one.
this one.
Dusty shelves line the walls of this room. A few of the shelves have folded sheets, blankets, and old bars of soap on them, and you can see a cobweb-covered broom resting against the far wall.
No, baby. I opened this door now.
Okay. Boy, when you
Certainly
open that
help us
room,
on
it's
this
dust and
podcast.
cobwebs shroud an elegantly appointed bedroom.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, you can see that there is another door right there. There's a couple more sets of doors. There's another solid door as well as a set of double doors. Well, you're moving. Oh, you see there's double doors. Stained glass doors, which look like they would pull open to reveal a balcony overlooking the front of the house.
Oh, are the children out there still?
Yeah,
Across
can
the
we
road?
see them from outside?
Outside, you see that the fog has rolled in and all but completely covers the streets. You're not sure where the children have gone in all of that fog.
He's gonna come back in. The kids are. I can't see the kids anymore. The
Oh.
fog is here.
The fog
Oh,
is
no.
coming.
The fog is coming.
Reginald,
Aw.
open that door, please.
Which? Oh, this one.
Yes.
Ah.
Anything resembling a
yeah.
baby in there?
Is there a child?
Oh, you open that room. Okay. You open
dark
and
chest.
see a nursery containing a crib covered with a hanging black shroud. When you open the door, you can hear the sound of footsteps behind you. What was not there before, a terrified, skeletally thin young woman who appears semi-translucent. As you turn to face her, she goes, "The baby! Don't touch the baby!" And she lunges forward towards all of you, shrieking as her form becomes semi-transparent. Everybody, please roll initiative.
There's a ghost in this house.
These will be good
Thought
for
dogs were
this.
supposed to be good at finding ghosts.
Too bad.
Don't jump on Danielle like that.
Listen, Sovanna's scared of dogs.
Sovanna, please get behind me.
I will do my best.
Okay.
It's behind me.
Initiative has begun. 11 Vosk. You are the first to react as this, what seems to be lingering specter of this woman lunges forward, clearly with malicious intent.
His hands will spark with radiant energy as he casts Sacred Flame.
So it is going to do a dexterity save. A 4, it will take the damage. 1 radiant damage. You call upon the divine power of your soul to banish this unwanted remnant back to whence it came. It makes a turning dodge, being still grazed by your power, taking a small amount of damage, so you see its form flicker and smolder a little bit from the power of your cantrip.
He's gonna step into the corner.
Okay, we'll move on to Reginald Bafflestone.
Reginald's gonna see this ghost. He's gonna start stuttering really bad. He's gonna go, he's just gonna run out the room.
Good lord. Okay.
Okay, well, he is gone.
Okay.
Reginald?
You hear footsteps going down the stairs. Okay. The specter lunges forward to attack. That's going to be Sovanna. Okay. Oop. Okay, you got a 6.
Oh, thank fuck.
Can I make an opportunity attack?
You can.
With Sentinel.
You are a sentinel.
12?
A 12 does hit its armor class. As you strike it with your glaive, you see that although your glaive does affect its physical form, it does seem to pass through most of it. This creature has resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks, but it will still take a portion of the damage. Sovanna, you are able to spin out of the way as it reaches one of its hands directly towards your chest. You see, as it reaches for you, almost what looks like lightning courses through the intangible portion of its hand, but you're able to turn out of the way and avoid becoming injured by this remnant of this woman. Elco is next in initiative.
Sovanna, get behind Benji. I'll distract it, and I'm going to move outside of its reach.
It will definitely use its reaction to try to attack you.
That does hit.
Okay, you will take a 12 necrotic damage.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
All right, I
these
have
rolls are
13
just
hit points, so there we go.
Yeah, you can't see
Still
these. And I need you to
I
make
could do
a
this all day.
Constitution saving throw.
Holy shit, if that reduces my max to 1...
I
No
have good
fucking
news.
way.
You succeeded. So your max
that's
is not reduced to 1.
Well, that's good.
Remember when I was asking about if I should tone this down a little bit? Anyways, you're
good.
fine.
That would be
Walk
so
it off.
bad. Okay.
As the
I will-
apparition thrusts its arms into Elco, you can watch the color drain from his face and his limbs, and as he seems to shrivel up like a raisin almost. As he staggers the rest of his movement away, but he has drawn the attention of the apparition for the moment, although he certainly looks worse for wear. He looks like a gust of breeze would push him over.
Yeah. Let's fix that. I'm gonna get 9 hit points back with second wind.
All right, you
Ooh, that's
call
good.
upon your second wind. You have too many people relying on you to fall here, and you get a resurgence of strength.
Okay, and then I will move back here and
Okay.
attack it with my action.
All right.
And
Good,
get
good.
a 21 and deal half of 9 damage and
Okay.
end my turn.
All right. Benjiro.
Just stab him with my rapier. Yeah,
It's
let's just
flavorful.
do that.
Yippee! 22 will hit. Yes. You will also do half damage thanks to the resistance, but half of 10 is still quite a bit. So yes, your rapier will carve through its incorporeal form, and it will shriek out as you carve into it with the rapier.
I don't usually like to attack spirits, but you could have attacked me first, so...
This, although it may resemble certain spirits of Mayho in some ways, it has many more differences. This would align
And I'm
more
only-
with the non-Mahoan use of the word spirit. Daniel, the dog, will go. He's got a speed of 40 feet, so he's gonna run around the room, jump over onto the bed, and get behind it like that.
Whoa.
And then he's gonna try to bite it.
Get a
He's a
little puppy.
19. He's gonna have it.
Hell yeah.
And it must succeed on a strength saving throw or be knocked prone. It is immune to prone because it is what it is. So I'm not going to bother making that
ghosty?
check. Yes. He
then-
bite into the ankle of this incorporeal being, which continues its cries of anguish. He tries to pull it down to the ground to his level, but his teeth go right through it, so he can't do it. Sovanna is next. Elco
Okay.
has created an
Um,
opportunity for you to step away if you'd like without fear of being grabbed while you are making your move.
Okay. She just kind of like crawls over the bed, just
Mhm.
gets her way behind,
Perfect. Yes.
and then she'll probably
you can
get
scamper over
behind
the
Benji
bed.
as ordered.
Yes.
And then let's see. I think I might bless somebody. Yeah, I'm gonna bless 3 people. like the 3 people in the room. I'm gonna bless Benji, Elco, and Levin.
All right.
Let me.
Yes,
Blessed.
ripping forth magic from your soul. You call forth the power like tapping a keg, and it spills forth from you, going towards your allies and imbuing them with extra strength and cognitive prowess, giving them the effects of the bless spell.
She's just gonna keep herself against the wall and turn.
Okay, 11 Vosk, we are back to you.
But he is gonna toll the dead.
All right, you toll the dead. Paid troll toll. Okay, must make a wisdom saving throw. Can use this really cool drop down to do that without opening the character sheet. I got a 12. That is your DC, so it does succeed.
Alright, he's gonna step up on the bed
All right,
so he can get a better look. Actually, he's gonna step over into this corner.
sounds like a plan. All right, Reginald, are you still being a coward?
I'm gonna have my feet come to a skirting
All right.
stop and say, Reginald, get a hold of yourself. You only fear it because you don't understand it. Okay. I'm gonna go help them. And I'm gonna sneak.
Okay, you're gonna sneak. Okay, sure.
I'm gonna
So you can
try
use
to
your
sneak my way.
action to make a stealth check if you'd like.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would like.
Oh,
I don't know why
19.
there's a
I don't
plus
know why
one.
there's a
That's not
plus one
supposed to
either.
be
What
there.
is that?
So it's just 18.
Okay, just an 18. All right, you have an 18 for stealth. You may move as you wish.
I'm gonna start sneaking my way back.
Okay. All right. The Specto Elco. It's going
Can't
to
sense
try
to
to
myself.
drain your life. I got an 8 that time.
To hit? No.
To hit, yeah. It reaches those hands out for you again, those painful hands. But this time you're able to skirt out of the way of them as it lunges forward with a screech. Now it is your turn to fight back.
25.
25 will actually hit, yes.
11 slashing damage.
That is a good hit.
Not
It'll
magical.
have 5, yes, but your glaive carves through it once again, and she shrieks, "Why?"
I'll step here.
All right,
That's all.
Benji,
I stab it.
Mr. Otsuka. Okay, go ahead and make an attack. 17 does hit, yes.
Yay!
Halves to 4. All right. Its form, as you strike it once more, begins to flicker weakly. It seems it does not have much more presence to it.
Can you stop fighting us? Maybe.
Daniel will attack. A 14. He's going to deal some more damage to it. It looks very weak. Sovanna.
She's gonna be talking to herself. She's like, "Go away, go away, go away, go away, go away." She's just gonna toss a little firebolt at it.
All right, you throw some fire. A 14 does hit, yes. With that last burst of flame tossed at the incorporeal woman, she seems to catch a light with these spectral flames. She makes one last reaching gesture towards the nursery room. I never wanted. But with that, her strength is depleted, and she vanishes into the air itself, leaving you once again alone in this abandoned house.
Reginald. Are you there? Oh,
Did you get it?
yes.
The dog was more helpful than you. Where did you go?
Oof.
I had to
Yes.
check the stairs to see if they were sound. The construction, could have been not good on the way back down.
Elco, are you feeling all right?
I think my heart stopped for a moment, but it's beating again. I feel fine. I think we need to reassess what we're doing here.
Well, it's certainly
Yes.
not fighting wolves.
No, it's not fighting wolves. It's not rescuing babies. I don't think there's a... Is the cradle empty?
I guess I can go check.
Sovanna's just gonna kind of peek her head through the doorway.
The
I will
crib is covered with a
move her.
hanging black shroud.
I will move her head and walk through the door.
Yes.
It's okay, she's used to it.
The nursery is covered in cobwebs. The shrouded crib is the only thing within.
Okay, I'm going to open this. If it's another spirit, wish me luck, I guess.
Careful.
Very quickly, Levin is also going to step into the
Mhm.
room.
Oh, hello.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna take it off.
All right, you part the shroud. Inside the crib, you see a tightly wrapped, baby-sized bundle lying in the crib.
Can I
Um,
look? Is there a face?
It is all the
I
way
think-
wrapped up. Would you like to open it?
That
I
is
think-
not how you wrap a baby.
I think it would have. I think it would have cried by now.
I'd say leave it, please.
I do not want to see a dead child, so
Levin's sense of justice is taking over. Levin will touch the baby.
Do you want to open the blanket? Unwrap the blanket?
Yes.
Okay. You open it, and there's nothing inside.
There's nothing here.
oh, we should go find the other two children.
What we do, I think we need to figure out what we're doing here.
Well, that's difficult to answer. We were doing a mission for Kuri, and then we ended up in Barovia, you said?
That's what the children said, yes.
I have never heard of a Barovia,
Haven't either.
and I am decently traveled. I feel like I would have heard about it at some point.
How old did the girl say she was?
10.
How long do you think she's been 10 years old?
And then, that is me. It is quite dusty in here, right? Like, can I figure out how long it's been abandoned, maybe?
As for this many cobwebs who have developed here and this much dust, this place would have to have been abandoned for a long time.
That must mean that the children outside.
I believe we are dealing with ghost children. We should leave.
Well, is this not your area of expertise?
It is.
And in your expert opinion, we should leave.
Yes.
Go where?
Unsure.
What's gonna happen when we step out into the fog?
That is another issue. They are
I feel
scared of the
like-
fog.
And a beast in the basement.
The bottom floors of the house are obviously lived in. By who? Spirits don't wash dishes, they don't dust.
Not a baby.
At least not any spirit I've ever met. They usually stay in the ground.
Well, let's look around then. Maybe we can find some books or something that will have any information.
What do you think, Reginald? Did you find anything on the stairs?
Found them to be sturdy.
I found them to be quite creaky, honestly.
But he's quite
Well,
small.
Ah,
manufacturing and all. Yeah, size difference. Exactly. Look, as long as there aren't more ghosts, I think anywhere else would be better than here.
I don't know if we'll be able to ensure that, Reginald.
Oh,
But I do think it might not seem it, but being in the same room with us while a ghost appears might be safer than finding safety elsewhere.
I just have bad experiences with ghosts.
Elco, you still look quite drained. Would you like some healing?
No, thank you. Save your healing for someone who needs it.
Sovanna replies with, "That's dumb," and then pokes him on the arm, and I give him my single point of healing hands.
Oh, you have one?
ASMRs, yeah.
Thank you.
You let forth a little of the power, not within your soul, but within your flesh itself, given the divine influence which has suffused it. Yeah,
Yes,
magic's weird.
we kind of heal people. Elco.
Yeah, get poked, bitch.
So, yes.
Thank you for poking me, bitch.
Oh,
Wow.
I'll call Sovanna.
Oh, was that too much? Sorry. I
Thought we were
cool
ripping.
like that.
Don't. It's fine.
I see.
Sovanna was a riot at the orphanage.
Oh my god, I was also in an orphanage. Crazy. You can bond over being
Do
orphans.
any of us have parents?
No.
Everyone, raise your hand if you got parents.
Yes, I have parents.
Levin is gonna raise his hand, but only slightly. It's complicated.
I will turn to the dog. Does the dog raise his hand?
If everybody is done in here, I'm gonna go explore.
Yeah, I guess let's head either back down or in the other rooms.
What is in this tiny room?
That is an empty, dust-choked closet. That door on the side which was facing you before you opened it has a full-length mirror mounted on it. You can see that there is a web-filled parlor over here in the southwest corner with a table and 2 chairs. Resting on the dusty tablecloth, there's an empty porcelain bowl and the matching jug. There's also a door in the parlor which looks like it goes out to a balcony.
Anything on this desk over here?
There's all
Or
sorts
what
of
looks like
stuff
a
in
desk?
this room. Let me go through it again. So furnishings include a 4-poster bed with embroidered curtains and tattered gossamer veils, a matching pair of empty wardrobes, a vanity with a wood-framed mirror and a jewelry box, and a padded
This is a
chair, as
vanity,
well as
okay.
a rotted tiger skin dress. Yeah, that is the vanity.
Yeah, I'm gonna look in that jewelry box.
Sure, you don't care if that's someone's belongings. You crack that bad boy open.
It's dusty.
You open it up. The jewelry box itself is made of silver with gold filigree and looks quite valuable on its own. Inside of the jewelry box, you see that there are 3 gold rings, as well as a thin platinum necklace with a topaz pendant. All of which are things you can add to your inventory if you'd like. Otherwise, you'll be leaving them there.
She's just gonna hold them up to Benjiro and just decide whether Benji is a gold or silver jewelry person. I mean, I guess we'll just loot this place. I mean, it's dusty enough to be considered archaeology, I think.
All right.
What is this? This tiny square.
Oh, that, there is a dumbwaiter. You see that there is a tiny hole in the
There is
wall
one in
with
here.
a little rope, and there is a button on the wall next to it.
He's gonna call behind him. Everybody else get out of the room. There's a button on the wall in here.
Oh,
Why are you going
you
to
can
press
the
buttons?
Why not?
Fair enough. Fair enough. No.
What else do we have to do in the haunted house? I push the button.
When you push the button, you can hear from the hole in the wall before you a very distant sounding ding. Nothing else happens though.
Okay. No explosion?
No explosion.
Can I see if I can figure out what it would go to or what it might do?
It looks like it opens to a vertical column which goes down quite a bit. There's also, you see, a set of double ropes in the middle like a pulley. You're small enough that you could fit through that door into that chamber if you wanted.
So can I inspect this rug? Like, why is it decaying? It seems odd.
Well, most rugs decay
Improper
because
taxidermy.
they're old. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe it wasn't taxidermy
They're
quite
old.
right. Or maybe it's just that old.
And this is a tiger rug?
Yes, it's a tiger.
How well known are tigers?
Tigers
around
are
Maho?
large cats native to Maho. Not super
Okay.
common, but not. It'd be more of an oddity in the Powderlands or in Canis, perhaps, than here. Although there are also a smaller brand of tigers local to some of the southern regions of Canis, actually. But
Okay.
You mentioned these statues having wolf heads, and
Yes.
there's one out in this hallway, is there not?
there is, yes, there is. It's a little
any-
different than the others, I believe. Let me look at my thing.
I just
Um,
remember,
it is a
we're
th-
here for wolves,
yes.
and it's the only
It's a
wolfish thing we've
suit
seen.
of black plate armor draped in cobwebs.
But it does have a wolf head?
This one does not. It's just got a bucket helm. It is a suit of armor. Yes.
is it like real armor?
It looks to be full. It's hard to tell how solid it is without touching it, but
I mean,
Do you want some plate armor since we're
Yeah,
already
I mean-
robbing them?
that I guess. Yeah.
We're already fighting the ghosts anyway.
Before you touch it,
Before I touch it, yes.
let me just feel.
you can
Let me just
sense
feel the area.
celestials, fiends, and undeads. Okay. Within 60 feet of you, that is not behind total cover.
Sniff for Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
doing
don't
a quick
sense
sniff.
any
It smells like lasagna.
celestials, fiends,
Speak
or
Chris Pratt.
undeads that are within your line of sight.
Okay,
Things
I don't think the armor is possessed, unless the armor counts as total cover. But whatever.
That'd
I
be so
will
fucked up.
touch it
All
with
right.
my hand.
All right, you go to touch the armor. It is cool, and when you touch it, the armor's right
It is
hand
cool.
smacks your
It's
hand out
cool
of the
as
way
hell.
as it squares
Oh.
up.
Okay, yep. Couldn't be that easy. All right, my bad.
Okay, roll initiative again.
It
My
is
bad, y'all.
never.
Agreed.
Gosh.
It is never that easy.
Behold, a false appearance. It is indistinguishable from normal suit of armor. It is also not a celestial fiend or undead. So, yeah.
It's almost as if there was a reason it didn't have a wolf head like the others.
What? Anyways. Benjiro, you are first, as you were sus this armor in the first place. It reels its fist back, ready to launch a punch towards Elco.
Oh, it doesn't have like a weapon.
No, it's just got its hands. It's which are solid metal, mind you.
I will just stab it, I guess.
24, it does hit. You manage to slip your rapier between the gaps in its armor, attacking the metal buckles which hold the armor together.
Yeah, I want to take this thing apart.
7. Alright, it does not have any resistances or immunities. Wonderful. Okay. You hear the distinct sound of slashing, the cutting of leather and the clinking of metal as you pierce through it.
Maybe after we take it down, you can take it. Its armor.
Reginald, it is your turn.
Oh my. At least it's not a ghost this time. And I will scrape together a few of my tools. I'm gonna make a bonfire underneath it.
Okay.
See if I can take 1 fire damage.
Alright, you start a bonfire on the wooden floor. It's magic, so it won't spread. It does ignite flammable items in the air that aren't being worn or carried. You might need to put out the fire afterwards. We'll see.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
So you create the square of fire. Until the spell ends, it fills that cube. Any creature in the space when you cast a spell must succeed on a dex save or take 1d8 fire damage. I got a 6.
Oh, that fails.
It
It'll take
fails.
1.
It also takes it when it ends its turn there. Okay, so it will take 1 fire damage. All right. You see some distortions begin to appear in the metal as it sort of just sits there taking the brunt of the heat, but its armor is heating up and you hear some of the leather straining from the heat as well inside of it. All right.
Yes.
Levin, Vosk, you are next in initiative.
He's gonna do Sacred Flame again.
It will make a dexterity saving throw. It gets a 5. That is a failure. It will take 7 radiant damage. All right. Burn marks from both the fire and the radiant damage appear on the armor as you scorch it with your divine might. After you is Sovanna.
Probably just gonna do a cheeky little firebolt. Not much else I could do.
You will have disadvantage on your
my
attack
bad.
roll because you are within 5 feet of a hostile creature.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah,
can
that'll
make
do
an
it.
attack roll. 6. No. Your firebolt is deflected
It's a
off
good
of
thing
one of its
Reginald's
shoulder
short.
blades harmlessly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not much else I could do without getting punched in the face.
The animated armor is going to go. It's going to reel back and it's going to take both its hands and it's going to try to shove you, Elco, over the banister off the stairs.
Oh man.
Oh dear.
Okay, so it's going to make strength check. You can make athletics or acrobatics to avoid the shove. An 11. I got a 21.
Uh-oh.
All right, so
Uh-oh.
you're gonna get pushed over the banister and you will fall all the way down the middle of the stairs back to the first floor, where you will land and you will take 2d6 bludgeoning damage from the fall. 4 bludgeoning damage. You're also prone.
Is there any reactions to help catch people?
No.
Is that a thing?
This thing is dumb as a bag of rocks, so it's not gonna realize it needs to move. It has intelligence of 1, so it is gonna stand still. It's pushed you. Now it's going to throw a haymaker at one of the other 4 of you, going in a clockwise order, starting with Sovanna. So 1, 2, 3 is Benji. It will punch you anyways. Okay. It has multi-attack, so its first attack was for a shove. Its second attack is going to be for the slam attack. I got a 15 to hit.
Nope.
That does not hit. No, you're able to
It will
dodge.
hit my
and-
shield.
Yes, deflect with your shield. Do you have like a full shield or like a little buckler or
I guess like a buckler would make sense.
a light
Yeah.
shield?
A
Yeah, all right.
rapier and a little.
Yeah, like a
Mhm.
light shield.
Parrying shield. Yeah, you can duck underneath and use a shield to knock its arm out of the way. Daniel will. He's gonna get in there. He's gonna take your spot. He's gonna take Elco's spot. He's gonna harry it.
Bite him, boy.
A 9 does not hit though. His teeth make an awful grating noise. They slide off of the armor as he tries to
Ouch.
bite the ankle of this armor. Elco's turn. You are at the bottom of the stairs.
I'm gonna just lay here and catch my breath for a second.
Okay.
Just look up at the ceiling.
Benjiro, we're back to the top of initiative.
Stab him again.
10 does not
Dang.
hit. No.
I do not hit him this
Glances
time.
off of the armor. Okay, we're back
Um,
to Reginald. Oh, sorry. It ended its turn in the fire, so it makes another dex save. I forgot.
Yeah, my bad. I should have reminded you.
You can roll another d8. You got a 4.
3
more fire damage. It is definitely being affected by the fire.
I will grab my hammer from my belt and try to bonk it.
Nope.
I didn't bonk it.
You leave a little
that's
dent
my
in
charge.
its armor. Nothing significant. 11 Vosk.
He's also gonna try and bonk it.
All right. An 18
An
is just enough to hit it. Yes.
3.
It is just a suit of armor. Yes. 3 more damage. All right. There's some rending of metal as you smash it with your mace. The chest piece caves inwards a little bit, leaving a small hole to the inside, which is hollow and dark. Back to Sovanna.
I don't imagine it has a mind to sliver, so we're just gonna try another firebolt at such a short range and see what happens.
Okay, you do have disadvantage. Oh, unfortunately, an 18 would have hit, but a 16 does not.
Well, drat. Let's just hope it doesn't push me down the stairs too, 'cause this is all I can do.
The armor is going to, I'm going to roll 2d10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so the first attack's at Reginald. The second is at Levin. Against Reginald, I got a 22.
Yeah, that'll hit.
All right, it smacks you back with its full arm. You'll take 5 bludgeoning damage. And then against Levin, I got a 16.
Will hit, correct.
Okay. It will throw a punch at you, hitting you in the chest. You'll take 4 bludgeoning damage.
That was its turn?
Yes. Oh, it takes a d8 of fire damage. Or it makes a save, and then it takes a d8 of fire damage. I got a natural 20, so actually he's fine.
No, it won't take any damage, yeah. Okay. Oh, I need to make a constant.
You do, you got hit. That's a good point. DC 10. You're fine.
I'm good.
Okay. Daniel will try to bite it. A 5 does not do it. Back to Elco at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay, I'm gonna stand up and start walking back upstairs.
All right, that's half your movement to stand. 5.
And then I get here.
10. Okay.
I have 20 feet of movement. That's all.
All right, Benjiro. Back to the top initially.
20 feet of movement?
Yes, I'm encumbered.
Why are you encumbered?
Because I have a limp, so I'm like, it's fine, I'll just load up.
Okay.
Half encumbered, half injury.
I'm gonna stab it.
And that's the price of the scale mail, I guess. And all the other stuff, too, is quite heavy. The rope and all that, yeah. All right, a 14 is not good enough to hit
pounds.
it. Yeah, it's very heavy.
Okay, the dog has moved, so I'm gonna let it punch me, so maybe people can, like, get away.
Okay, all right. It will track you and will try to punch you when you step away from it. A 6 does not hit, no.
No. Okay. And with that, I'm gonna be like, you guys should just run. Just go downstairs.
Reginald!
Okay. I don't know that I can actually make it that far, though. 5'10". No, I'm carrying too much stuff to make it through all the people, so I'm just gonna try to hit it again.
That does hit, yes. You may roll damage. Or bludgeoning damage. All right.
Fuck.
You leave a nice little rend in its armor with your hammer.
I will step away from it, though, and see if I can not get...
Yeah, it does not hit you. It's already used its reaction.
Yeah. All right, there we go. That's my turn.
Levin Vosk.
Right, he's gonna reach his hands out and try to cast Inflict Wounds.
Channeling some of that magical power. You reach forward.
11.
An
That
11 does not hit, no. It smacks your hand out of the way. The magic scatters and disperses into the air.
He's gonna back up just a little bit.
You know what? Worth a shot. Let's try Mind Sliver. See what happens.
Okay. All
You
right.
could also back away.
Oh, I'm gonna. Don't you worry.
It is immune to psychic damage. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you
That's what
try
I
to
figured.
sliver its mind, but alas, there is no mind to be slivered.
And now I'm gonna sliver myself
All right,
away.
you sliver on out of here. All right, animated armor. Evens for Benji, odds for the dog. All right, 1 to each of you. Okay. Gonna slam Benji. That's 19. He'll do 3 bludgeoning damage if that hits.
It do.
Against the dog, I crit on the dog. Oh.
No. What?
Oh no. Oh. 6
Damn.
plus 4 is 10. It even did double its health. That's really sad. Okay.
What?
Why would you do this?
It's the die. It's in the VOD. You can see.
No.
Wow. All right. It throws a punch and it connects directly with Daniel's neck, who immediately goes limp. I hate this.
No! No!
This
The
sucks.
first death.
I mean,
The first death.
I do have spare the dying.
No,
The problem
I think
He's
is
dead,
I
dead.
think he's dead.
it overflow
Yeah.
damaged. He's got 5
Yeah,
health.
yeah.
I rolled 6 plus
Yeah.
4.
Yeah,
Even
that'll
if
do
I
it.
was giving this NPC death
That'll
saves and
do it.
things, which I probably would have, the game just decided no dog.
What?
No dog.
The dog. No.
Aw.
Well, I'll take him off initiative, I guess. Huh.
Man.
Take him off initiative.
Just-
I guess.
just
moving on.
Oh my gosh.
This is so sad.
Y'all go up the stairs slowly.
You're making your way up. Benjiro.
No.
This is so sad. I am so sad.
I wasn't expecting that.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna move over here so I'm in front of the staircase.
Better Daniel than one of you.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
I don't know. There. Did he do his roll again on his turn?
Oh, that's correct.
By the
He
way.
needs to do that. Yeah, let me do a saving throw. Dexterity. I got an 11.
My DC is 13, so take 3.
Ooh, 3 more fire damage. It is looking quite weak by this point. All of these little injuries have added up. It is quite malleable from the fire and heat, and it has already gotten several little holes and rips in it from the attacks it's sustained.
Cool. I'm gonna try to stab it.
Attack roll. Oh, you got a natural 20. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh,
All right.
hell yeah.
You're filled with Daniel Avenging Wrath. That will
Daniel
most certainly
Avenged.
do it. All
The
right.
dog.
You go with your rapier and you strike with the rapier and you knock this thing apart and into these destroyed pieces on the floor for daring to touch the dog. Daniel
kick
has
it.
been avenged. You kick it, yeah.
You
All
killed a
right.
poor pup.
I'll drop concentration on that bonfire, by the way.
Okay.
Go away now.
All right. Thankfully, the floor does not burst into flames.
No,
The dog is dead.
Daniel.
Would you like to keep his collar as a memoriam?
I don't know that I need that. I guess it might be good. If we find the owner, then we can let him know how valiant he was. In case we
You can
find the
add
owner.
Daniel's collar to your inventory if you want.
Can I come up the stairs now?
Yes.
Elco, the dog has died. Also, are you okay?
Yeah, I'll
I'm
put you
fine.
back down the stairs.
I've been much worse.
Well, seems as though it's life or death in here. I think it's probably time we head back down those stairs now.
And don't touch any armor, please.
I'm gonna go down the stairs and hope for the best.
Sure.
Down the stairs.
I guess he's gonna open these doors.
Should we be going around these people's home?
Open.
Are they
Gossamer
living?
drapes cover the windows of this elegantly appointed hall, which has a brass-plated chandelier hanging from the ceiling. Upholstered chairs line the walls, and stained glass wall hangings depict beautiful men, women, and children singing and playing instruments. A harpsichord with a bench rests in the northwest corner. Near the fireplace, around the corner from where you can currently see, there is a large standing harp. Alabaster figures of well-dressed dancers adorn the mantelpiece.
I'm gonna heal Reginald before we go in.
Oh, thank you.
You roll a d4.
2d4.
One.
It's
Oh,
2d4.
Oh, it is 2d4.
That is very kind.
Seven.
Sorry for leaving you to fight that ghost earlier. I have a bit of a history with them, and if I'm not mentally prepared, it's challenging.
It is all right.
Okay, good. Elco, I'm glad you're okay, by the way.
Thank you. I'm sorry for getting the dog killed.
No, that's not on you.
I think it might be.
Life is just cruel. Anyways,
Well, you just fell down
let's
the
go in the
stairs.
next room.
It is not your fault that the dog has died.
Whose fault it is doesn't matter. He's dead.
I'm guessing nobody can play harpsichord.
This room looks rather empty.
That is all that lies within this conservatory.
Perhaps we should continue onward. Maybe find the beast in the basement. Not sure how comfortable I am rummaging through these people's belongings.
But I would like to know what's in this room. Levin is perfectly comfortable snooping through these people's
Okay.
houses.
If you'd like, you may open the doors. Red velvet drapes cover the windows of this room. An exquisite mahogany desk and a matching high-back chair face the entrance and the fireplace, above which hangs a framed picture of a windmill perched atop a rocky crag. Situated in corners of the room are two overstuffed chairs. Floor-to-ceiling bookshelves line the south wall. A rolling wooden ladder allows one to more easily reach the high shelf.
Some windmill pictures.
There does seem to be a bit of a windmill motif. There was the sword and the paintings and the pictures.
Sovanna's gonna plop her little butt in this chair, and she's gonna see if there's anything juicy at this table.
Yes,
At this
there
desk.
are a few things there. The desk has several items resting atop it, including an oil lamp, a jar of ink, a quill pen, a tinderbox, and a letter kit containing a red wax candle, 4 blank sheets of parchment, and a wooden seal bearing a windmill insignia. The drawer on the desk, which you may open if you like, contains an iron key.
Yoink.
Yoink indeed. You may add as many of those things as you like to your inventory.
I did not realize you were
Probably-
such a klepto.
Oh, just for the key. I figured we might need it.
Anything
So I do
interesting?
notice that the windmill seems to follow the stamp as well. I'm guessing it was some sort of symbol for the family. And there is a key in the drawer. I assume it goes somewhere. Maybe the basement. If they locked it.
We'll have to find the entrance to the basement.
Well, since we're helping ourselves, can I open this door, Peter?
Sure, you are there, yes. This bedroom is undecorated, containing a pair of beds with straw-stuffed mattresses. At the foot of each bed, there is a footlocker. There's also a small closet door on the north end of the room,
Oh,
as well as
this room looks
another
empty.
dumbwaiter door around the corner.
DM, I have a question.
Yes.
If I learned anything from Tomb of Annihilation, libraries are suspicious and everything has a secret door. Are there
Uh-huh.
secret doors in here?
Make a perception. If you like to investigate the bookshelves, you may make a perception check.
Is it bad?
A 17, okay. Let's see here. You can see as you go through these bookshelves that they hold hundreds of tomes covering a range of topics including history, warfare, and alchemy. There are also several shelves that look to have first edition collected works of poetry and fiction. As you are looking through the bookshelf, you find one book which catches your attention. It is a red-covered book. The spine, unlike the other books, is completely blank.
I pull on it.
You pull on the red book, and there is a small clicking noise as a section of the bookshelf on the south end of you swings open. There you go.
There's a dead man in here. There seems to be a body in this hallway.
Oh, joy.
I pulled on it. It opened up. There's a dead man in here. What is hello?
And it swings open, but you can see that it will swing shut on its own unless you either hold it open or prop it open.
Someone hold this door open for me.
Yeah, I'll hold the door.
Alrighty, I'm in here.
All right. You see that this secret room contains bookshelves packed with suspicious-looking tomes. You also see on the far end of the room, there's a heavy wooden chest with clawed iron feet standing against the south wall. Its lid half closed. That is half closed due to the skeleton and leather armor sticking out of the chest.
Can I inspect the corpse?
Yes. It's
What's up with
halfway
it?
sticking on the chest, but you can open it up. You can open the chest
What's
to
up
get a
with
further
it?
look if you like. You see that the skeleton appears to be that of a human, and it seems he's triggered a poisoned dart trap, judging by the 3 darts stuck in his armor and rib cage. You also see
Right.
that clutched in his left hand, there is a letter bearing a unique seal. I should have a handout for this. Let me see if I have a handout for this. Boop, there it is.
It's not a windmill.
No, this one
Can I
is different, yes.
can I take the letter from his hand?
You most certainly can.
He's gonna turn to Elco and be like, I believe this poor soul got himself caught in a trap.
Yes, it looks like it.
He also was carrying this letter in his hand. Is there anything in the chest? I'm assuming he's already triggered the trap.
The rest of the chest, you see that there are a few more things in it. Yes, there are look to be 3 books with a black leather cover. Opening them reveals that they are blank. There are 3 scrolls, each inside of their own carrying case. There are a couple of folded up pieces of parchment, which look to be 2 deeds, one for a house and one for a windmill, and there is also a signed will.
Can one of you call Reginald over?
Hey, Reggie.
Yes?
There's things in here if you want to check them out. Careful, though.
I don't know how much I want to look at the dead body.
Do you know anything about scrolls? He's gonna tip his head out.
Perhaps. Can I...
Do you wanna squeeze in here?
May I inspect it?
Can I take the scrolls out and hand them to you?
Yes.
Hand him to Reginald.
Reginald, you can recognize a magical scroll when you see it.
Ah, yes, these are magical.
Do you think the will could have the names of the children on there?
I can pick it up and check it
Yeah,
out.
I don't know. I don't know if it mentions the kids at all.
Do you want to read the will?
Yes.
3.
You see that the will is signed by a Gustav and an Elizabeth Durst, and it bequeaths the house, the windmill, and all other family property to Rosavalda and Thornbolt Durst in the event of their parents' death.
That
Is
seems
there like
an
a
important
date?
thing.
There would not be a date on a signed will, no. At least not on a ye old will.
Okay. He's gonna take the deed and the deeds as well.
What are the parents' names?
Gustav and
Gustav
Elizabeth.
What about the books on the shelf?
I actually was gonna mention. You said that there were history books and everything.
Yes, those are on the outside
wouldn't
shelves.
know. We wouldn't know anything about a Barovia at all, would
Nope.
we?
Probably not.
So I think that's probably what Sovanna would be looking at.
Mm-hmm.
What does the letter from the adventurer say?
Oh,
Can I
do you
break the
want to
seal and
look
read
at
it?
the letter? Do you want to break the seal and
So
read
many
it?
items.
Would you?
Yes.
It reads as follows. My most pathetic servant, I am not a messiah sent to you by the dark powers of this land. I have not come to lead you on a path to immortality. However many souls you have bled on your hidden altar, however many visitors you have tortured in your dungeon, know that you are not the ones who brought me to this beautiful land. You are but worms writhing in my earth. You say that you are cursed, your fortunes spent. You abandoned love for madness, took solace in the bosom of another woman, and sired a stillborn son. Cursed by darkness, of that I have no doubt. Save you from your wretchedness? I think not. I much prefer you as you are. Your dread lord and master, Strahd von Zarevich.
But that's not ominous at all.
Oh, he seems like a cheery fellow.
Anyway, what are the books on the shelf?
In the hidden room, you can see that they, flipping through them quickly, they seem to describe fiend summoning rituals and the necromantic rituals of a cult called the Priests of Osiris.
Wow, this just gets better and better.
He's gonna hand the letter to Reginald. Take a look at this.
Ooh, okay.
This is
Right.
Not very nice.
Yeah, none of this is familiar to me. But I can keep this if you want me to, or would you like it back?
I certainly don't want it.
I guess I'll pocket it for now. Good find, I suppose. Right. Should we go find the altar that's supposedly in the basement that has had lives sacrificed on them?
I don't think so. Sovanna, you're looking at books, right? Can you find anything about this place?
Yeah, I definitely wanted to look and see if I could find anything about Barovia that could just tell us anything about where the hell we are right now.
Yeah. You could certainly find some books here. It specifically lists that there are topics including history. Lots of the history books are for unfamiliar places you've never heard of. You could, if you wanted, take some time to search for books on Barovia in particular, but who knows how long that might take with all the books here.
known about the Dewey Decimal System with the Spire of Knowledge.
Unfortunately, they don't seem to use that same system here. It looks as if Mr. Durst just put the books wherever the hell he felt like.
It's just his personal
By aesthetic, I understand.
library.
If you'd like to take some time to read, I could use a breather. Sit down.
I wouldn't say that the chair at the desk is very comfy, but it could be useful.
Sure,
If we have
let's,
the chance to read, I wouldn't mind cracking open a book myself.
let us look.
All right, yeah. I'm definitely going to look and see if I could figure out anything about where we are.
So over
I'll
the
join in if
course
there's a way I can help.
of a while, if Reginald would like to help, you can assist and grant advantage.
Sure.
Over the course of, let's say, an hour to go through the books, you can make an investigation check.
An hour, you say?
Yes, I'm being nice.
Can I take a short rest?
If you're not doing anything else, then yes, you can take a short rest.
Short rest.
Investigation. I got +0.
Woohoo.
Let's see.
Unfortunately, it is an 8. After combing through the books for a while, you have not found any books that pertain to Barovia or the region or any names you've heard of in particular so far. It seems your search has turned up empty-handed. Either you're unable to find the books or distinguish them from the rest, or they simply do not exist.
Well, Reginald, I'm afraid either I cannot read or this is a very dull library.
Oh well. You know, sometimes you absorb some stuff from books, and sometimes the books absorb you, am I right?
I don't want to be absorbed by a book.
No, because it's so good, you just get sucked in. You know?
Is that what happened to us? Are we in a book right now?
No, I think we went through a magic fog. But that's okay. Maybe it's only been a ghost in an animated armor. We're still making it.
Let's explore the first floor.
There's still the beast in the basement.
Right, the basement with the altar of souls. Okay.
Alright, you returned back to the first floor hall.
Last time we were down here, Danielle was with us.
Last time I was down here, I was lying on the floor.
Levin is gonna open this door. There's nothing.
That is a closet. You can see
I'm in front
that
of a door.
this cloakroom has several black cloaks hanging from hooks on the walls, and also on the high shelf there is a top hat.
Incredible.
Anyone want to wear a top hat?
They are starting to become all the rage in Canis, but I haven't bought into it yet.
Are we sure we
these-
want to touch it? It might turn into ghosts.
Yes, it might turn to ghosts.
I'm gonna open this door in front of me.
Okay. This opens up into
A table.
the hunter's den room that you had looked into from outside, including
Ooh.
that there are these cabinets in the rooms as well. Looks like the north cabinet is not locked, but the east cabinet does have a lock on it.
The key I could attempt to use.
It is true. You can try it if you want. You will find that your iron key is far too large to fit into this little padlock.
Okay. I swear, my character's not a klepto. I'm just resourceful.
Oh boy.
I just pick up things that I think may be useful. I would like to note that the jewelry isn't even in my inventory.
Now, if somebody had thieves' tools, they could attempt to pick the lock on this cabinet.
Does anybody have thieves' tools?
Why, yes, I do.
This cabinet's locked if you wish to look around.
I suppose I can indulge your thieving habits.
I'm not a thief, just an orphan.
Can take a look.
Giving us
All right,
orphans a
let's
bad
see.
name. Jeez.
21.
That is most certainly enough. You can pop that lock right open and open that cabinet if you wish.
I will pop the lock and then step to the side and say, Sovanna, it is all you.
Oh, so now I have to pilfer through it? I see what you think of me. She'll pilfer
Well,
through it. I guess
okay.
since I've accidentally designated myself as the pilferer, I will pilfer. What's
you
in
swing
here?
open the once locked cabinet. You see that inside there is a heavy crossbow, a light crossbow, a hand crossbow, and 3 quivers, one for each quiver having 20 bolts inside for a total of 60.
The gun cabinet.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's a good thing they kept that locked. It's the kids in the house.
Yeah.
Yes, isn't the world building phenomenal?
I'll take that heavy crossbow. I could get some use out of that.
I'll take the hand crossbow just so I have something for ranged.
Sure.
Thank you. And Sovanna, Reginald is always like that. Don't take it personally. He just likes to tease.
I'm gonna open this door.
Yes, that is a dining room. It's true. The centerpiece of this wood-paneled dining room is a carved mahogany table surrounded by 8 high-backed chairs with sculpted armrests and cushioned seats. A crystal chandelier hangs above the table, which is covered with resplendent silverware and crystalware polished to a dazzling shine. Mounted above the marble fireplace is a mahogany-framed painting of an alpine vale. The wall paneling is carved with elegant images of deer among the trees. Red silk drapes cover the windows, and a tapestry depicting hunting dogs and horse-mounted aristocrats chasing after a wolf hangs from an iron rod bolted to the south wall.
What
Are
do you
you
see,
okay?
Elco?
I see a tall
What do you-
man
What
with
do your human
many
eyes
eyes.
see?
gray skin and 1.5 horns.
It's another ghost.
Oh, that sounds frightening.
That's actually not that bad to look at.
Oh.
Oh, thank you.
Uh-oh.
This is obviously a kitchen. It is tidy with dishware, cookware, and utensils neatly placed on shelves. A work table has a cutting board and rolling pin atop it. A stone, dome-shaped oven stands near the east wall, its bent iron stovepipe connecting to a hole in the ceiling. Behind the stove and to the left is a thin door, which one might presume leads to a pantry of sorts. It is, in fact, a pantry. Imagine my shock. It is well stocked, and the food appears fresh.
The food down here is fresh.
That's odd.
Trust that.
Peter, I have a question.
Yes.
And maybe I just missed it earlier. The stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Does one side go down and one side goes up?
Oh,
Or
there's
they
only
both-
one side. It only goes up.
Oh, okay, it only goes... Okay, that's what I thought you said, but the picture, I started to get confused. Okay, gotcha.
This is the floor that we entered the building on too, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay, so we have yet to find the entrance to the basement.
Correct.
right.
Although, there is the dumbwaiter here.
This is the lowest level of the dumbwaiter, I'm sorry to tell you.
Oh,
Maybe the beastie gets hungry too.
While you're in range of being able to see the front door, you can see that the mists outside have encroached and are basically filling the doorway to the portico completely, like a thick blanket.
Oh no.
Oh, awesome.
Okay.
While you're thinking on the matter of it, though, you do recall that when you're outside the house, you saw how many windows and floors this building had, and there were 4 floors.
Oh, so there should be a top?
Yes, there should be a 4th floor that you have not found a way to get to yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Reginald, I think there's a 4th floor to this place. Maybe we have to go up before we can go down.
Oh, that makes sense to me. If you go up enough, you just end up back down.
Okay.
Would you like to go? Where would you like to go?
4th
We would like the
Stop
we would like the
moving.
incorporeal entity that controls us to drag us up a floor.
All right, the magical
No more
elevator
ghosts.
teleports you to the 3rd floor. Boop.
I'm gonna check out this little storage room from earlier with the broom.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. You go in the storage room, check things out, and you go to check out the broom, and the broom lifts off the ground and goes to whack you.
Oh, boy.
Hey!
Oh, stop touching things.
Pause. And
I wanted to clean up some of the dust.
roll initiative.
Why?
This is initiative.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Initiative?
It's a
Where?
broom. All right, the broom is first. Oh wait, actually, yeah. Did you go to grab the broom? I don't know. Whatever, forget it. It has a reaction. It has a reaction specifically if somebody grabs it.
So my plan, I guess, was to use it to poke the ceiling for a door.
Okay.
So I guess, yeah, let's say I grabbed it.
All right, sure. Okay, so the broom does its animated attack reaction. So the broom makes
Oh,
a
boy.
dexterity check contested by your strength check. So it does
Okay.
dexterity. It got an 8.
8.
Tied. Okay. If it wins the contest, well, the contest rules are that if it's the tie, then nothing changes. So I don't think it gets to do its special advantage reaction attack. But however, it will do normal attacks. It's going to flip itself around. It's going to try and thwack you twice in the head with the wooden end of the handle.
The broom is attacking me.
The broom can attack twice.
I got an
Wow,
18
there
and
you
a 17.
18 will
Wow.
hit, 17 will not.
Okay, the 18. You'll take 6 bludgeoning damage from the first hit as it cracks itself over your head. The second hit you're able to duck out of the way of, though.
Jesus
Levin
Christ.
Vosk is next. Who's that?
In the corner.
Yes, you are. You hear the sounds of broom violence from around the hall.
Oh my gosh.
Reginald, do you
Damn.
know what's happening?
It sounds as though a broom is whacking somebody in the head. Rather strange.
He's gonna
That's
call
just
down.
my
"Anybody-
educated guess.
Anybody need help down there?
I am getting smacked.
Oh wow,
Do you need
right.
It hurt me a lot.
I can't help. You're in a closet.
This is kind of a bad idea.
Okay. He's gonna not do anything.
Okay. We'll just go to Benjiro then. Your turn.
Well, can I just kind of back out of the room and close the door?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
The broom in there is very angry.
Does anyone have plans to change the state of the broom?
No.
You can just leave it be. That works.
So if no one had plans to change the state of the broom is incapable of opening the door. So you can all really hear it banging on the door, but that's about all it can do. So, yeah, we'll just
Alright.
move
Is
on.
there anything in this cabinet?
In that cabinet, it's room 15. Yeah, you didn't fully explore that room either. Let's take a look. The bedroom contains a large bed, 2 end tables, and an empty wardrobe. But there is on the wall next to the wardrobe a full-length mirror with an ornate wooden frame carved to look like ivy and berries.
Alright, I'm gonna regret this. I'm gonna look in the mirror.
You look in the mirror. It's you. Do you want to inspect the
Okay.
mirror more closely or anything like that? I mean,
Yeah.
okay, sure. You can make a perception check.
I just get sucked in.
Mm-hmm.
Flashbacks. You said perception.
Yeah. 17.
17.
Ooh. First, while checking it out, you can see that amongst the berries decorated the carvings, it looks like there are hidden eyeballs among them. Ooh, scary. More relevantly, you can also tell that actually there is a secret door behind this mirror. The wall is cut out separately, and you can push it inwards if you'd like. Bam,
Yes.
not secret.
A staircase!
Oh.
Yeah.
Woo. Okay.
Oh.
We go up.
You come up the stairs and reach the top, the attic hall. This bare hall is choked with dust and cobwebs.
Alright, I'm gonna open this door. I can't open that door.
Oh,
You
crap.
cannot open that door. That door has a large padlock on it.
Where's that key?
You got it, boss.
You want to try the padlock
the
on
key?
that door?
Does the key work?
It does.
Whoa.
Wow.
Well, you can chunk open that
Rampage.
door up if you want.
Thank the gods, I'm finally useful. Yeah, I want to go through the door.
All right, you can open it up then. This room contains a bricked-up window flanked by 2 dusty wood-framed beds sized for children. Closer to the door is a toy
Oh,
chest
no.
with windmills painted on its sides and a dollhouse that's a perfect replica of the dreary edifice in which you stand. These furnishings are draped in cobwebs. Lying in the middle of the floor are 2 small skeletons wearing tattered but familiar clothing. The smaller of the 2 cradles a stuffed doll that you recognize.
Oh. Okay.
Man, see, you prefaced it by saying every painting looks creepy, but now they looked creepy and they were probably ghosts.
Oh, some of them are creepy
So-
because they're actually creepy. I just don't want to get the sense that they're all like that. In this case, yes, they're creepy, and you should have been wary of them. But there are other pictures which are creepy where they are not actually creepy characters. So I did bait you a little bit, but I promise that rule does actually hold true. I promise.
Can I inspect the skeletons?
You most certainly can. Yes.
Like how
The
they
lie in the middle
die.
of the floor, plain as day, wearing tattered clothing that are definitely theirs. Yes. How did they die? Would you like to look? Do you want to do a medicine check? A 21. You can tell, examining the bones, looking at the calcification on the edges and how it's sort of withered away. It seems likely that they starved to death in here.
Reginald, I don't want to alarm you, but I think those children were ghosts.
That's better that I didn't know then.
He's gonna stand up after inspecting them. He goes, they starved, I believe.
The door was locked from the outside, and then they were left in there.
Why would their parents do this? They said that the monster was in the basement. What if the monster is their parents?
You said the dollhouse was pretty much a replica.
Yeah, you want to look at the dollhouse? Yes, the dollhouse.
I would like
It's pretty
to.
good. Sure, yeah, the dollhouse, like I said, is a
I'm a bit.
perfect replica. And looking at it, it looks like you can open it up to see the inside even.
I will
If
do
you
so.
want to, okay. As you go to
I'm gonna look
open
at
up
the
the
other child you were
dollhouse,
saying.
you hear a small voice go, "Excuse you, that does not belong to you." As in the middle of the room, two see-through spirits apparate, matching the
Oh.
children you matched earlier. Although these particular apparitions have a much more translucent quality to them, and you can tell that they are bone skinny under their clothes. And just who do you think you are, messing with my belongings?
I apologize.
I'm gonna
I
grip
was
onto
just-
Elco's good leg.
I was just curious curious of what happened here.
Well, as you can see, we've perished. She gestures towards her own skeleton on the floor.
Yes,
But
I'm
you could
sorry
at
for
least ask me before you mess with my things. It's only polite.
Rose, may I look through the dollhouse?
You may.
I will nod to her and I will turn back to the dollhouse.
Yes, you can check out the yeah. Oh, you can make a perception check if you'd like while you're looking over the dollhouse.
This is
19. Wow.
Dang.
Looking through it,
yeah.
you check out all the floors, including your current floor, and you can see that connected to a storage room, which looks to be on the west end of the section here, on the northwestern room. There is a little hidden doorway which leads to a spiral staircase, which looks to go all the way down through the whole house.
Rose, Thorn, do you know what your parents were doing?
Thorn sort of chews on his thumb a bit and says, "Our parents locked us in here. They wanted to keep us safe from the monster in the basement, but then they didn't come back. We were really hungry and cold, and then Rose was playing, and then we died, and here we are. Fat lot of good they did for us."
I'm sorry that they left you here. They shouldn't have done that.
She sort of looks to the side and grabs at her elbow. "It was not pleasant, but thank you for your condolences."
I would like to help you if we can. Perhaps if we remove the beast from the basement, will you be able to leave this room?
I don't know. I'm not exactly familiar with what happens when you end up like this.
Why did you ask us to come in here?
She gives you a confused look. "I've never seen you before. I don't know what you're talking about."
There were seemingly living versions of you outside that asked us to come and get rid of the beast in the basement.
That is very strange. As I'm sure you've noticed, we've been locked in here. So,
We even had a dog, and you pet the dog.
well, what happened to the... Never mind, I don't want to know what happened to the dog.
It went to a farm.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sure it did. She sort of covers Thorn's head with her hands and holds him close. He's shivering a little bit.
So you weren't outside?
No. We can't leave this
Oh.
room. We're as stuck here in death as we are in life. Isn't it nice?
Interesting. I'll take some notes down in my little book.
Do you know anything about what they did with your brother?
Our brother? She sort of chews on her lip a little bit. Oh, Walter. Walter never really came to be.
Was he stillborn?
That's the adult word for it.
Right. Do you happen to know anything about a skeleton in the library?
In the library? Well, like I said, I have been locked here for a very long time.
I'll write that down as a no.
As far as I know, they didn't keep the skeletons in the library.
Oh, and what about this note? Here, Elco, I'm not going in that room, but if you could show them the note, that'd be great.
Rose, can you read?
I was learning my characters.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pass the note over. Do you know who this person? You heard this name before?
She sort of squints at it as she can't really hold it. You have to hold it out for her. It takes her a while to get through it, but she does read it eventually. He was really more disgusting than I ever thought he was. What did you mean?
This person, Strahd von Zarovich.
Oh, yes. He's in charge around here. Mom and Dad were rather taken by him. But as far as I knew, he had never written back.
When you say he's in charge, he's what, like a king?
I believe his official title is Count. He lives in Castle Ravenloft. You'd be able to see it outside once this fog has cleared up. It overlooks the village of Barovia quite nicely. It must be a nice place.
Thank you for your help. You two are very smart kids. We'll do our best to help you if we can.
You're not going, are you? Not already.
Well, we need to go downstairs so that we can deal with the beast, and then we can come back.
Oh, but we've already been alone up here so long. You wouldn't leave us in here again, would you?
I must leave, but I will not forget you, and I will not abandon you like your parents did.
Oh, no. You take us with you. Come on, Thorn. Take us with you.
If I can, I don't know how to do that.
If we move the bodies, perhaps I can come with.
I feel like we can manage it. She and Thorn will step towards some people. Rose steps towards Benjiro, and Thorn will step towards Levin.
This is why I don't trust ghosts.
Can each of you please make a DC 13 Charisma saving throw?
13!
13, okay, and Levin? Alright, you're both fine. Both of them try to hitch a ride on each of you. You feel them sort of, as they step into you, trying to press themselves into your mind, but both of you are able to shake them off. They look
perhaps,
desperate. If you don't want them to try again on someone else, you might want to leave quickly.
Yes.
Everybody
Everyone,
out.
move out.
Wait, please don't leave us in here. We'll be good. Wait.
Get out. Rose, as much as we love to help you, it is much like me touching your dollhouse. Perhaps you ask before trying to jump
She
into our
doesn't even
bodies.
really seem to be listening to you. She's just repeating that please don't leave us behind over and over again in myriad different forms.
Could you shut that door?
Okay.
Right, and I'm just gonna put this lock back on there.
Well, they're ghosts. They can't really. Okay.
Well, if someone were to stumble upon that, then they might become possessed, but this way, it's safer.
It's not their fault.
No, it's not. And I don't want to be possessed.
They're just children.
Right. Incorporeal children that
Okay,
can
that's-
control your body.
What about this door?
Hey, that's the storage room. Yeah. This dusty chamber is packed with old furniture, chairs, coat racks, standing mirrors, dressed mannequins, and the like, all draped in dusty white sheets. Near an iron stove, underneath one of the sheets, you can see that poking out from under one of the sheets, no, I did it right. You can see that there is a wooden trunk under that one.
Does anybody want to investigate the wooden truck, or do we think it's gonna be something that jumps out and attacks us?
Well, I guess I'll check.
I mean,
I will touch
I'd
the
say
trunk.
the chances are probable.
I will take the thing off the trunk.
It is in fact a wooden trunk. It is unlocked if you'd like to open it.
I gotta check it for traps first.
Sure, make a perception check.
I'm so bad at these, but I keep making them.
Make a perception check. 11. You give it a look over. It looks old. It looks dusty. Does not look like it is trapped. Looks like a trunk portable. Moves.
Okay, I'll open it.
All right. You see that inside of the trunk, there is the skeletal remains of what looks to be a woman, judging by the tattered hairs clinging to the desiccated skull, wrapped in a tattered bedsheet stained with dry blood.
Why did I open this trunk?
The Lord.
The
Tattered
lore,
bed sheets
okay.
stained with dried blood. It's probably the stillborn child's. But
Mother? Or
well, it might be the sheet that
oh right, yeah.
is like birthed on, potentially. But I don't know.
Benjiro, where did you see that secret passageway?
It was on the west side. Yeah, right by Sovanna over there.
Oh,
You can find it without needing to make a check because you know where it is.
Oh, cool.
well, I'll be.
There's a door right there next to Sovanna.
Bam. And surely
There's
enough,
stairs.
it opens up into a tight, narrow spiral staircase which winds down through the entirety of the house you've been through so far. Descends 50 feet down. Thick cobwebs fill the shaft, and you can't see more than 5 feet in front of you in any direction. Would you like to go down?
All right. Let's head down,
All
everyone.
right. Down
Be
you
careful.
go to the dungeon.